AFTV, we're outside the Bernabéu. As you can see in the background, I've been joined by Sid, who runs the Real Madrid channel over here called Let's Be Real. Or Let's Be Real?
Yeah, both.
Let's Be Real.
Yeah, Let's Be Real.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's Be Real. Listen, I've been watching your channel. It's been great to see the work that you guys have been doing. How long have you been running now?
It's been 3.5 years as a podcast. Now 2.5 years we have been doing fan camps and talking to fans every home game. It's been going good. We're growing and we are collaborating with you. So that's a pleasure.
No, it's great. It's great. It's great. Now listen, the big game tomorrow, the Bernabéu, we can see in the background. Arsenal fans that you've seen already in the city, they're very excited about the game tomorrow. 3-0 up. But what we do know is that it's Madrid. We know that, Real Madrid have done it in the past, when you think they're down and out, have come back. How are you and how, in general, are the Real Madrid fans feeling about this game tomorrow? And also, what did they feel about last week? I'm interested to find out about that as well.
Starting off with last week, I think we should have scored in the first half. We had chances. Mbappe had a few chances. It's given to him by the Arsenal defenders, and we should have been more clinical. And then Declan Rice came in. I think it was like a FIFA game. 2 free kicks, top bins. You couldn't have done anything. But I feel the goal that probably killed it in a way was the goal by Mikel Merino. Because 3-0 down is always difficult. But we should have scored. If we got one goal there, we would have been much more confident. But you said you are 3-0 up, and there is a huge word "but" associated with it because of the Bernabéu and Real Madrid. Because the fans are very optimistic. They feel that, the comeback is on. Strangest things have happened at the stadium. I was there when we had to score 2 goals in a minute against Man City to take it to extra time. In a whisker, in a blink of an eye, Rodrigo scored twice and it was extra time. And then it was Real Madrid who was going to Paris and Man City was back to Manchester. So a lot of motivation. Fans are ready, pumping in. That has been, first it was denial. Then you're like, there's hope. Now you're motivated. That could happen. Tactically, I think we could concede, but
if you concede, what are you going to have to get 4?
And I think if there is one club who could do that, it's Real Madrid. You also know it.
Yeah.
If we can concede 2 and score 5, that is a possibility. But I feel the first 20 minutes is going to be the most critical part of the game. If you guys manage that, then I think it's tie over. But in the first 20 minutes, if Real Madrid are able to do what they did against Bayern Munich in 2012, when they were like 2-1 behind, they scored twice in the first 12 minutes or 15 minutes. Ronaldo scored twice and the comeback was on, even though we went on to lose that tie. But if they show that kind of effort and if the magic of the Bernabéu, the fans add on, I think a magical night is awaiting in the Madrid capital.
All right, you're talking about a lot of magic, all right? And I think up front, there's a lot of magic, Of course, who can deny? Mbappe, brilliant. Rodrigo, as you said, Vinicius Jr. But what about defense? Because, I thought last week your defense looked very vulnerable, especially in the wide areas, especially Saka was getting a lot of joy. I know you got an injury, Ferran Mendy's out. You're having to play Valverde, as a right back. Those areas are still going to be vulnerable. How do you keep Arsenal out? Because you have had problems at the back. You have been conceding a lot of goals this season.
Yeah, that has been the biggest problem with us. I think the injury to Militao and then the relapse of the injury to Alaba at the start of the season made it very complicated for us. Raul Asensio came in and he stepped in. He's a young lad from the academy and he showed the power he has. Yeah. But we are vulnerable, and the fact that I expect Fran Garcia to start on the left wing, I think he could do much better against Saka. I think he has a better chance of having a good game against Saka than David Alaba, because I felt Ancelotti went on for experience rather than the youth and energy. Right back against Martinelli is going to be a difficult one, because if Fede Valverde comes in, he can do a good job, but he's not a traditional right back.
Yeah.
So, and Martinelli has been improving in the last few games. He's finding his form back again. So that is the key area that could decide the game in more ways than one. And I think if you remember, Saka was the guy who was fouled twice. That led to the 2 free kicks scored by Declan Rice. So he can do a lot of damage. And we are nervous. If I stand more confident, I am nervous. They are great players. Martinelli, think Saka is one of the best wingers you have in world football right now.
Yeah.
If I would be putting on a plastic face if I'm saying I'm not nervous, I am nervous. But I also have the trust that, if we have a good game
Yeah.
and a lot of, confidence from the atmosphere, the fans, and the great, the eyebrow raising from Carlo Ancelotti, I think damage can be done.
Yeah. Tell me about, right, you were saying to me earlier that this whole road all the way down here, all round here, and we can see the brand new stadium in the background there. You said that tomorrow there'll probably be 100,000 people here to greet the coaches when they come in. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that is what is going to happen. This is literally on our left is the route where the team buses come in and then they go throughout that tunnel. If you can see,
Yeah.
There's a mouse stand there. There's a tunnel where the team buses go in. The game starts at 9 and there has been a call by the fans, the ultras, by saying you have to be there around 2 o'clock. Create the atmosphere, and it's going to be more than 100.
2 o'clock?
Yeah. 100,000 people coming in waiting to cheer that team bus because
Yeah.
I think the game begins outside the stadium. You have to inflict fear. And as they say in Europe, death comes in the form of a white bus. So
Yeah.
you have to keep the tradition alive. And if the team is ready for the challenge and the fans add on to it, and if the effort is there, anything could happen.
Yeah.
If there's any team who could do it, it's Real
Yeah.
Madrid.
What if they don't do it? I mean, how's that going to go down here? Because I think probably a lot of your fans expected you guys to get through this tie. You knew it'd be difficult. But if they don't do it,
I
does Ancelotti start to come under a lot of pressure? Because you're not looking the league's there's still a chance in the league, but Barcelona are looking favourites for that. I mean,
I would agree. To be honest, I think Carlo Ancelotti has been under pressure this season because there was an expectation that there will be a style of play that will be imposed because of the players that are at his disposal.
Yeah.
Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo, Jude, Fede Valverde. These are stars I'm naming. They're probably like 5 of the 10 best players in the world I'm naming. And the results haven't gone that way, and we have suffered losses to Barcelona in the most humiliating way possible. 4-0 at the Bernabéu.
yeah,
I think 5-2 in the Super Cup final,
Yeah.
9-2 overall, and then we did beat Atleti on penalties, but in the league we didn't because they were draws. And there is an expectation to win here. You
Yeah.
have to win or you are gone. And it's been a while that if you see, obviously, in the last 2 coaches, in a way, if I would say, Zidane, he stayed here for 3 years, then he had a break. A lot of bad things happened, and then he came back. And then Carlo Ancelotti has been here. This is his 4th season in his 2nd spell. There is a stat I would like to say. He has coached Real Madrid for 6 seasons. This is the 6th season. He has reached the semi-final of the Champions League every season. Now, if he is gone, there'll be a new coach coming in. I don't think even a Copa del Rey would save it, because I feel you need a change. I feel 4 years, Carlo Ancelotti has done great. 2 doubles in 4 years. He won the Copa del Rey. That I'm talking about his 2nd spell. But there will be pressure and...
yeah. Okay, well, for me as an Arsenal fan, I hope that pressure is going to be on him tomorrow. Let's finally get your prediction.
See, I am optimistic. I know we will concede, but
Yeah.
I think the game goes to extra time and let the best team win on penalty shootout, and
Alright,
that's
so
Real
if
Madrid.
you concede it,
That's
right,
Real
and you
Madrid.
guys- so what are you saying, 4-1?
Yeah, 4-1 or a 5-2 is what I see.
Wow.
I see goals. That is my prediction. I think if the other way is because Arsenal are so good defensively, I feel they can hold on to a 1-1 or even a 0-1. But I feel if we score once, we're going to score 3 or 4. That is the belief I have.
Okay.
If we score early, we score more. But if we don't score at all. So that's the extremes,
Thank you very much. Listen,
Thank
keep
you,
up the good
Don
work
Bobby,
with your
for doing
channel. And let's talk again after the game.
Definitely. And you guys keep following AFTV.
Thank you.
Entertainment.